Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. And we're doing Sichot HaRan 183. Did I not? I don't know what's going on here. Okay. It's fine. Oh, wow. Okay. Serious issues here. Okay. It's right in front of me. Okay. 183. Okay. The Rebbe once felt an abdominal pain after being outside. He said, I feel that I will soon receive money. It is written, and your belly's going out shall be like money, from Yeshaya. Shortly after this, the Rebbe received money by mail. Okay, so that's
every time I had the stomach ache.
I know.
Get checked.
Yeah, every time my belly goes down, I should get money.
That's a good point. I hope so too for all of us.
I mean, I haven't noticed that. I'll start keeping track.
Yeah. Okay. So I figured this would be a good bridge into a topic that we never really discussed at length from Rebbe Nachman, but that he speaks about a lot is Tzedakah. So we'll go into that. Okay. So I did a few cliff notes, and then we'll go into the more the heavier Likutei Moharan piece. So first Likutei Moharan 204, right? That's what I started with for you guys. Yeah. Okay, fine. So this is about supporting Talmidei Chachamim. When you give charity to Torah scholars, the money becomes actual Torah. No sin can extinguish the merit of giving money to Torah scholars. That's a big deal, right? No avera could actually take away the schus of giving money to Talmidei Chachamim. For no sin can extinguish the Torah. And the money given to Torah scholars is actual Torah. So just, keep that in mind, because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I'm always another yeshiva wants money, and then, there's so many. But you see, Rebbe Nachman saying here that really giving tzedakah to Torah scholars, it's as basically as if you're learning Torah and you're continuing this. It's the actual Torah, and no avera could take away the schus of this. So pretty big. Okay, and then I wanted to read you another one. 13, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, I'll just read it from here. Yeah. Okay. To draw Hashem's providence upon ourselves completely, it is necessary to break the appetite for wealth. This is achieved through giving tzedakah. When a person gives money to tzedakah, it cools his urge to acquire. He conducts his business affairs truthfully and honestly and is satisfied with his portion in life, having pleasure and contentment from what Hashem has blessed him with. Since he is not desperate to become rich, he is free from the constant struggle, to make extra profit. The burden of this struggle is the fulfillment of the curse, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread, from Bereshis. When a person gives charity, he is freed from this, and it is accounted to him as if he has brought an offering of incense to Hashem. Okay, so also a big statement just to recap it, right? If we want to draw, and we're going to go deeper into this in the next Likutei Moharan piece, but to draw Hashem's hashgacha pratis upon ourselves, you have to break this appetite for wealth, which is difficult, But Rebbe Nachman's giving the eitzah for that. It's through giving tzedakah, and makes sense, right? Because when we're actually giving money, then we're not acquiring, we're giving, the opposite. So this breaks that desire to become rich.
You would think
counterintuitive.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You think it was the opposite.
That you'd have to make more money.
No, that when
No,
you
you have
give,
to
you're
bring-
like that feeling of giving away. You need more. You want more.
Right.
I don't
Not that
think-
giving away makes you feel like. Oh,
I thought
okay,
the
I don't
opposite.
really
You
need
have
Right.
to you would have to work on yourself to cool your urge to acquire and
then be
able
able
to
to-
give tzedakah. But here you're saying the opposite. Like giving tzedakah will make you
Right.
help you work on your midah
Right. Of generosity
Well, I
and
think
cooling
it
the
chills
wealth.
you out, about it all being yours.
right,
Right.
right.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And at this line also, when a person who gives tzedakah, the last line, who gives tzedakah, when he's freed from this, and it is accounted to him as if he has brought an offering of incense to Hashem. It's just so nice, it's Again, like all these like deep stuff are really happening when we're giving tzedakah. There's stories about like, oh my gosh, actually, Chaval that Esti is in here because her uncle that recently passed away, I'm just pulling up his name. You guys remember we were like davening for him, Lustig. I want to find his name, sorry. I just think it's important to say it in his name because it was just his shloshim. Sorry. Nishay, here it is. Hello, welcome. Come on in. There's a chair over there. Okay, Harav Yaakov Mordechai ben Harav Moshe Chaim. Okay, so this is a crazy story about him that they said over Shabbos. They had a big kiddush, and he took a second mortgage on his house in order to give more tzedakah. Whoa. Like, could you imagine? No. This is like yeah. Like and then like the Rav said that in shul, and then like side part, so Shai was like, oh my, Shai was talking to the son. He's like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe that. And the son's like, yeah. And then because right away my mind goes to the widow. I'm like, so does she have to pay 2 mortgages now? Like, what's that? Like, wait, what's going on? I know. But for a second I was like, and then and basically shortly after, like they consider this like a big nace, so I guess there wasn't too much stuff in the house, but they had some type of fire and they got paid back like all the money from this. Like it was like a crazy nace that happened. Like he took out money to help somebody out and then
while he came right back.
While he was alive. Yeah. It's just his shloshim right now. And there's stories also like about like I'm just like, I think it's like so important to mention it because like I can be so selfish and it's just like so amazing to hear like how people like mamash like go out of themselves, There's stories about like Reb Shlomo Carlebach also, like story after story about him that like he would do a big show and he would have like a wad of cash in his pocket and he'd see a beggar and just like he'd be like, here, and give him like the whole, like not like counting how much money, like whatever he made, he just like gave it away, It's important to share these stories, If anybody has any others, please feel free to share. But yeah, okay, fine. So now we'll go into the Likutei Maharan piece. So this is Likutei Maharan Tanina 4. So, yeah, I think there's more. This is page 3. Is there another page 1 somewhere? Oh, here. Yeah. Okay. 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 Be'ed ha'orvim sivisi l'chalkalaka. Okay, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you, and this is in Melachim. So this is talking about Eliyahu and Navi when he had to like hide out, and ravens came and kept on. Hashem made a nace, and ravens came and kept on bringing him food. Okay, Zeh b'chinat tzedakah. This alludes to charity. Initially, when a person begins donating charity, he has to break his heartlessness and turn it into compassion. This is the essential devotion of charity. When someone naturally compassionate gives charity purely out of his compassionate instinct, it is not an act of devotion. I'm just going to read what the Hebrew word that he uses for devotion here, avodah, okay? It's not an avodah. There are also animals that are compassionate by nature. Rather, the essential devotion is transforming cruelty into compassion. So when a person gives tzedakah, the whole avodah in this, the whole point of this is really to like take that cruel part of us and turn it into compassion. That's what Rebbe Nachman's saying. And he's saying somebody who's like naturally giving, it's not the same. Like they're not like as much involved in the avodah. Of course, it's still a big mitzvah to give no matter where you're coming from. But he's saying like the highest is when you're actually breaking your midos, So I was reading like in the footnotes here, but it was saying also that like really everybody, like every Jew has tons of compassion. It's just like we tend to have compassion for our family and for our, you know, like it's like that's like the first where it goes to. Like we're like, we can't give because my kid needs this. Or like this, you know, like that's the, but the avodah really is to like have compassion for the person sitting next to you and have compassion for the person who's asking from you. Like have that same compassion rise up and give to them. Did you want to say something?
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like people, not everyone, but I've seen it, that people have an easier time giving others and like community members than people in their own circle. I see it.
Right. That's
I
also.
feel like there are people that love giving tzedakah to big community things.
Right.
And like a nebuch story. And then when it comes to their own cousins or their own brother, like,
Really?
I feel like
would
it's
think
harder
the
for them.
opposite.
I do. I
Right.
see it.
They're more judgy or something.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes like in your own circle, it's not as like
Also,
a cover.
it's uncomfortable sometimes to give to family, I think.
Why? But I would think like she said, like it should be more natural.
I feel
Right.
like I would think it is more natural.
I see it with a lot of people.
Right.
You
If you
know.
know someone you love is struggling, then you want to help out.
I actually see with a lot of people I know that actually give to family members a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I know the wrong people.
Yeah. Maybe.
I know both, but
Yeah.
I do know
Yeah.
stories of like people that
Right.
like their own families, they won't give them, but they're like supporting yeshivas.
Maybe they like
Right.
to them too close, so they judge.
Actually, I've seen that. I've seen it on your side also. Yeah.
I've seen more
Whatever.
than I do give to family, but I mean, there's
Right. Everybody has their stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, this is the meaning, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you. The raven, cruel by nature, turns compassionate in order to feed Eliyahu. It must be the same with charity. And even those who are benevolent, all those who are generous must first undergo this process of and the ravens. In other words, in order to donate charity, they first have to break their heartlessness, their initial tendency to be cruel, and turn it into compassion. Okay, so number 2.
It's
Yeah.
weird. Like you think it's heartlessness. I feel like it's just like maybe fear, or you want to make sure you have enough for yourself or for your kids. Like I
Right.
never thought of it as coming from a place of cruelty.
Right, that's what the footnotes say. They say that's exactly what I was saying. Like it's the footnotes. I should quote who it's from. Maybe it's from Rebbe Nachman. But like it doesn't. It's not like a situation like
How is it cruelty?
to not give.
Yeah.
No, he said. Oh, it's the parparot lechachma. It says that when a Jew is approached for charity, his compassion wells up first and foremost for himself and his family.
That's cruelty.
No, it's compassion, but we have to. But then he says, like, you have to flip these compassion. You have to flip the compassion onto the person that's asking for money.
Okay, and not doing that is cruelty.
no, they're just saying
Yeah.
they're saying that ravens are cruel. He's saying ravens are cruel by nature. Like their natural instinct is to be cruel.
Right.
But then they develop this compassion to feed Eliyahu.
Right, but it's saying the essential devotion is transforming cruelty into compassion. That
Right.
means that not giving is cruelty and giving is compassion. No?
Right.
I think what Lonnie's saying is you don't feel like people don't give out of cruelty.
Yeah.
You feel like they just give out of like either not being aware or not being
Being able.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Hebrew word for cruelty is. Go. So,
Pass. Okay, let's say I'm not in a position that I can give people lots of money, lots
Right.
of tzedakah right now.
Right.
But when I pass someone on the street begging, my instinct is let them they're gonna get drunk anyways. Like why do I need to give them but can I not give them 2 shekel?
Right.
Like that's the cruel part of me.
I see.
That's saying I don't have to dismissing. I don't have to give them because
Right.
look,
Yeah, but that's not
like
coming
different-
from cruelty. I don't think. I think it's coming from something else.
it's coming from a lack of compassion.
It's coming from lack of compassion.
It's the Hebrew word is achzariot.
I think I personally think it's coming from like, oh my gosh, like then where does it end? Like
Right. Right. No, for me it's resentment. Also,
For you, it's like I'm running to work.
But really, if the point is not, it's not. I think what Effie's saying is the point is not them. The point is to that piece in me. They're irrelevant to the situation. It's that piece in me that needs to be softened and
Right.
dissolved.
Right. We're gonna get deeper into it in number 2, but yeah, that's what he's saying.
Like when someone comes to my door and I tell my kids to say I'm not home, like that's cruelty. Like
Right. You don't want to be bothered with it. You're busy.
Right.
I'm gonna go upstairs to get 2 shekels for my
I
bag.
don't make my kids. I stand by the door and say, "Eat my lopo."
I go out now.
No, like I'm in pajamas. What do you want me to do?
No, that's
Right.
also, I'm like, I'm
But you should just know one thing I told my kids: no matter what, if you have a shekel or if you don't, you always arrive at the door with a cup of water.
Right, so that's
so nice.
Like you learn compassion.
Right. That's beautiful.
There are people who want tzedakah. I'm judging. Look at me, I'm judging. I'm saying maybe they want to buy drugs or cigarettes or
Right.
garbage.
But it's not our place to judge. Like in those situations, like I'm not responsible for you. You know, like I'm saying for the person that's buying the drug.
There's a guy that repeatedly asked for tzedakah and he said he's a crook. Don't give him.
Right.
Yeah. Are we judging? We're judging.
Right. I don't know. Let's work on the places that it's safe to give. How about that? There's a lot of places that are safe to give before we work on the harder ones, you know.
I was going down to fetch my husband in the lift, and the lift opened, and Zulidia running backwards and forwards in front of the lift. Desperate, I need 20 shekel, I need 20 shekel, anyone want 20 shekel? I gave her 20 shekel. It was an emergency, I gave her 20 shekel. Anyway, I go in, I fetch my husband, we go back into the lift, we're going up, the lift opens, the same lady's doing the same performance.
Oh, wow.
I just gave you 20 shekel. Husband's like, you did what? Like, I just gave her the shekel. Like, what do you think she did the 20 shekel for? I'm like, I don't know, shit, it was emergency. Yeah,
Right.
drug emergency.
You're right.
That's a perfect example.
Right.
Well, you're good.
Right. You're
Everyone in the lift was laughing, like you gave that woman, like it was
Right.
so obvious apparently. Yeah, but it's not your
But
job. She was like so desperate. It was like an emergency. She
Right.
So that's when distracting you. That's
Right.
People in detriment in front of me.
That's
A
misplaced
cool
compassion. I don't think it's misplaced. I don't think it's
No?
misplaced.
I don't know.
No, I
Because
don't
you're
think
saying
so.
Yeah.
then what I should have given again.
You did the mitzvah.
Right. Either way, we're gonna learn like the importance of tzedakah. Yeah.
I get mixed with giving someone.
For sure. Not even a question.
There's a lady who sits outside Yesh, you know, the old lady?
Yeah.
She's so sweet. I don't know, there's something about her. But she's always asking people to buy her stuff.
Right. I give her rolls sometimes. I remember I once gave her.
But sometimes, like, you'll say, okay, I'll buy you, but then she'll come with 50 pounds of tomatoes and she'll take it a step further beyond what you want to give her, and then
Right.
you feel bad. And then
Right.
But I guess it's not about, like, I feel like it's
Okay,
more
the
about, like, emunah bitachon, meaning if you believe that this money is not yours and that it's Hashem, and that you're
Right.
just like a middle person here and He gave it to you and it's your, then it's not hard to part with the money because you're not parting with something that's yours. You're
not gonna
you're
lose
just the
Right.
shaliach, you know?
Right.
I feel like that's
Is it
like-
harder
But
for
so-
wealthier people to give than not?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's a personal thing. But Rebbe Nachman.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure. I see a lot of times people that are big givers, they grew up with nothing and they know the feeling.
yeah.
Right.
As opposed to people that never struggled, don't understand.
But I think like Rebbe Nachman's saying here, like it's not even about all this stuff. Like it's really just about like turning this cruelty into compassion. And even though we might not look at not giving somebody as cruelty, it's a part of us that's being stingy. You know, whatever that's, you know. Exactly. It's about the Hebrew word. I don't remember what the English word was. Act of devotion, and the Hebrew word is avodah. Like break your midos. That's it. You know. Okay. So 2. Beginning the devotion of charity is very difficult and demanding, right? Like, and the Hebrew of that is kasha ukveda. Okay, it's very heavy, right? Very difficult and demanding. All devotions and all acts of teshuvah, whatever act one wants to carry out in service of Hashem, must be preceded by many cries of oy vavai and many groans, genuflections, thank you, and gesticulations, the contortions which the God-fearing make during their devotions, right? So like anytime you want to change a habit and come to teshuvah, it's like pulls everything out of you, right? This is mainly at the beginning, for it is very difficult then, because all beginnings are difficult. One needs many cries and sighs, etc., before giving birth to any act. Afterwards as well, after the beginning, service of God does not come easily, as mentioned above. It takes much effort and many contortions before one can do something in an exemplary manner, right? So in the beginning, for sure, it's hard. Like it's like, you know, like again, shviras hakelim. Like I think that's the shviras hamidos. Like that's the perfect way of explaining it. Like you have to break your midos. Like it's hard to do that, and even once you get more comfortable with it. Like it's after the beginning still, like it's, you know, there's still like levels of being there and doing things in the perfect way. Nevertheless, the beginning is extremely difficult. The reason is that good deeds are the primary progeny of the righteous. It follows that mitzvahs, good deeds, and all devotions to Hashem signify a birth. Before the birth, how many times does a woman cry out? How many labor pains and contractions does she have until she bears the progeny? So Rebbe Nachman saying that just like tzaddikim, like what's their progeny? It's their mitzvahs and good deeds. And just like when, you know, it's hard for women to give birth and you go through so much pain and difficulty. So the same thing, like when a tzaddik, like breaking the midos and everything, also like he's giving birth to these mitzvahs. He's making a comparison here. This is especially so, I only have page 3. I don't know. Okay. This is especially so for a first-time birth, because a woman's first delivery is very difficult for her, as it is written in anguish, like she that gives birth for the first time in Yirmiyah. This is a beginning, which is very difficult, as in all beginnings are difficult. Right? Kol hatchalot kashot. And tzedakah is always a beginning, as in open, you shall open your hand to him. So Rebbe Nachman saying like even like tzedakah is also, it's always considered a beginning, meaning it's hard at basic, I guess, always, right? That's what he seems to be saying. But then he's going to go further where he's going to say like giving more tzedakah makes it easier for you. But he's saying like anything that's being open, like a woman giving birth, something is opening, right? And like so Rebbe Nachman saying like also like your hands, when you're opening your hand, like it's difficult. First time is the hardest, but I
also like how it ties in with what we did last week with the sighing and the bringing vitality into the lacking. Remember
right.
last week?
Yeah. Right. Even where an opening and a beginning already exists, charity opens more and more, widening the opening further. When a person wants to embark upon a particular path and devotion in worshiping Hashem, he needs to make an opening in order to enter that path. This is, as in all beginnings are difficult, because at the beginning, one must break through and open a new entrance. It is therefore very difficult, yet the remarkable power of charity is that it can widen and open the opening more and more. When we make an opening in some devotion and give charity, the charity opens and widens the opening more and more. This is because charity is the beginning of all beginnings, for it opens and widens all the entrances. So Rebbe Nachman is saying a crazy thing here. So he's saying that, like, it's not only that when you give tzedakah, like, it will help you be better at giving tzedakah. He's actually saying, like, for all avodah, like, giving tzedakah will help you be able to, like, open all these new paths into teshuva. So I was listening to, a long time ago, I think you sent it to me, actually. I was listening to a Rabbi YY shiur, and he was talking about, like, opening, which I think, like, fits in perfectly with this, like, making new neural pathways in your head, like, and he was talking about, like, also, like, in Yanim of Teshuvah, like, your mind just wants to do what you're used to. And, like, we have all these neural pathways in our brain that tell us, like, okay, like, he used the example, like, I'm done with work, it's time to drive home. So he, like, ended up driving home to his old house, you know, because he moved recently from the story, and he ended up driving home to his old house because, like, that's what his mind is used to. But, like, when you break a habit, like, you're creating, like, new neural pathways in your head, which is, like, literally what Rebbe Nachman's saying here, like, now, like, you're making new openings and new, you know, and, like, and it widens these openings, and, like, you build, like, different ways of, like, different antidotes. Yeah. Exposure therapy?
Yeah. Like when someone
Yeah.
has like a phobia, let's say of like speaking in public, so
Right.
the more they do it, the more they're exposed to it,
Right.
they make new pathways,
Right.
and they're not scared. It's like
Right,
the more
exactly.
you give, maybe it's like hard to give, but the more you give, the more you get used to giving, and then it's like harder, easier.
And in charity itself, there is also a beginning. This is when one begins to give charity, which is, and I have commanded the ravens. Beginning the devotion of charity is therefore very difficult and demanding, for it is the beginning of all beginnings. So the point is that you can use like giving tzedakah to help you, like give tzedakah and schus that you can,
Oh, like anything you want to work on. You want to work on avodat, you give tzedakah.
Right, like Hashem, like I'm giving tzedakah bischus that you help me like really be consistent in his avodat, or I'm giving tzedakah like help me overcome my anger, or I'm giving tzedakah. That's what he's saying here. He's saying like tzedakah is opening all pathways, not just the pathway of tzedakah. So it's really powerful.
I see it as when you're giving tzedakah, you're taking something in you and you're giving it, right? So you're creating, like, let's say if we think of like a cleat or something, a tunnel that's clogged, or a lot of our suffering and stuff comes from things that are clogged.
Right.
So if you're giving it, you're unclogging, right? But now that pathway's open. So now you can also receive through it. And now you can.
Oh my gosh, that's literally what we're going to learn. Yeah. Yeah.
So I see it as like it's also like you say with feelings.
Yeah.
You can't feel good, you can't feel bad. It's the same pathway. When you open yourself up to feel bad, you're also opening up to feel good. So if you're opening up to give, that tunnel is now also open to receive.
Right. Yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
don't like the analogy with the birth.
Why?
It gives me trauma. It's like you have to open the channels and it's
I know.
wider and
I know. It is a bit. It is a bit descriptive. It is a bit descriptive.
Crossing my
Should I unplug the microphone? Okay. Okay. I know. By the way, I'm like okay. I'm with you. Okay. Nevertheless, we're at 45 already? Oh, 42. Okay, fine. Nevertheless, the benefit of giving charity is extremely great, as charity helps always, right? And we just learned like not just with like breaking yourself to give tzedakah, but with everything. The body okay, so now we're gonna take a turn, but we'll connect it in Mir Tasha.
Just like
Yeah.
on top of what Abigail said. I think also when like in addition to what you said, you're opening up, like you're being a giver, and it's like stepping out of a victim mode, being like, oh, pity, or like,
Right.
oh, look at me, poor me, I don't have, or like that kind of approach, or like feeling the lack. Because so many, like even some times of the day, I can like notice that my thoughts are going into lack, like,
Right.
oh, I don't have this, or I'm doing this because of a lack.
Right.
And then instead, by giving, you're stepping into, I have and I'm giving,
Right.
like giving away, and
I
like.
like that.
Right, you're changing channels.
Yeah, you change, and then it opens for miracles. Like,
Right.
Literally, that's how.
It's Henny Machlis, like I've said this here before, but like she always used to say, like, I have enough time, I have enough money, and there was a third, I have enough energy, right, or strength, something like that, forgive me if I'm misquoting, but like it, like how many, like we wake up in the morning thinking like I didn't get enough sleep. Right. We wake up in the morning thinking like,
Oh no, 6 o'clock.
right, like every moment we think about our lack. It's just like that's how life is, and this is all about like.
That's such a good mantra. Have enough money.
I know.
I know.
Wow.
Right.
I want to commission a painting for
Okay, cool.
of that.
Okay, I'll make that.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to talk.
It's but like imagine, and like look what she was able to accomplish with that mantra.
She's positive. She's positive.
No, but like I could think about how many potato cookles she made. I would be like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, and I don't have enough strength. That's what I think every day, Right, exactly. I can't even bring anyone dinner, Like I can't. Like I can't even make my own family dinner, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money or strength,
Okay, I'm
What?
meeting us in the hangar.
All right.
I don't have time to have enough money.
Right. Let me get the exact quote for you.
Rabbi Hussman also has another really good thing with
Yeah.
the from Navi, the Isha Hashunan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isha tells her she has nothing in the house.
Right.
She has a little bit of oil, and he tells her, go get the
Vessels.
from the neighbor.
Yeah.
Right.
The question is, why do you need the, like, in other words, why do I need Like, why she needed to get the vessels before she could start pouring the oil, and it filled up all the vessels because we have to create. You have to create the vessels to receive before
Wow.
you can get the
broth.
Wow.
Right.
So you know what?
You guys are hitting all the like.
But like
This is yeah.
You know
This is
that
it.
vessel-
We're gonna
vessel
learn
is
it.
a cup, this one, right? Not a line.
A kli,
No, a cup.
a kaf, yeah.
So if
Right, a kaf, yeah.
kli is also like is called Hashem, right? Like I'm just for accepting everything that's from Hashem. I just have to
Oh,
be the
kol
kli.
Hashem, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so we'll do a little more. Okay. Nevertheless, the benefit of giving tzedakah is extremely great, as charity helps always. The body. Okay, so now Rebbe Nachman's going into like, yep, we'll see. Okay, the body's needs are numerous, even the essentials, right, such as eating, drinking, clothing, and shelter, are numerous and vast. One can spend all one's days and years on the necessities alone, and they considerably hinder a person's service of the Creator, right? Like dealing with all of this, like it's a whole, it could take forever. This is so even though all our efforts in pursuit of these needs are themselves the service of God, right? Like we eat to serve Hashem, hopefully, and we get dressed, like it's all, to be sneeze, mitzvahs, right? They are the concept of an arousal from below. This is what I was saying this is like, we're going to hit on what you were saying. They are the concept of an arousal from below, for through an act below, there is an arousal on high. So I'll read a little more. Whatever labors and works people engage in awaken the supernal form of that work in the act of creation. It also brings vitality and illumination to the supernal form of that work associated with the act of creation on high, which parallels that labor and work a person engages in below in this world. So similar to what Abigail was saying before, basically like the way Hashem created the world is in Kabbalistic terms, it's called Mayin Nukvin. If anyone knows if I'm pronouncing this wrong, let me know, right? And that means that like it's us doing an act that brings Mayin Duchrin, okay, which is that brings the the bounty from on high.
Stimulate from above
We're stimulating from below, and then it brings
triggers from above.
It triggers from above, exactly. So Rebbe Nachman's saying here that that even like when we do, he's gonna explain if he didn't explain it yet, but like even when we do like even like things that are taking like, when we're in this physical world and we have to eat and we have to drink and we have to clothe ourselves and get shelter and all these things, it's still it's like triggering this relationship with from below to on high, okay? So the labors and works that we engage in create the Mishkan. All works are included in the 39 works, namely the primary works, meaning, how they're like toladot, and so that's what it's talking about. So primary are the
malach and the tolada.
Right, exactly. The primary are the malachot, implies that there are derivatives, right? Like if there's malach, like you wouldn't call it primary if there's not secondaries, exactly. So that's the toladot. All the types of work and labor that people engage in are included in the 39 works. These 39 are the primary ones. The rest are the tolados, the derivatives. And the 39 works correspond to the works of the Mishkan. As our sage of blessed memory taught, what do the 40 less 1 primary works parallel? They parallel the works of the tabernacle from Shabbos.
That's an interesting phraseology, 40 less.
I know.
I try. Like I'm 39 now. What's the significance?
I looked. I couldn't. I also was wondering. I'm like, why does it say 40 minus 1? It didn't explain it, or I don't know.
What's interesting is I think 40 it signifies like a level of completion, right?
Right.
Like 40 is just, so maybe it's that it's not our job to complete. The 39, they can do 39 for the Mishkan. It's 40 minus 1. Like it's not our job to get to 40.
I love that.
39, Hashem fills
That
in
is
40.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to go with you.
Okay.
Okay, and they parallel the human who does the work for the form of the human body resembles the form of the Mishkan. It follows that by a person engaging in work and labor, a Mishkan is created, like Bilvavi Mishkan Ebna, right? When he performs the work for labor fittingly, the way he should, he gives vitality to the act of creation and illuminates it, and his labor is the world's mainstay. It follows that this too is the service of Hashem. So Rebbe Nachman saying here that like when a person is doing these 39 melachos and he's doing it, which is like, this is our world here. We have to do these 39 melachos. We can't not. Like, so we are connecting to the Mishkan, and that's also connecting to this act of, it also is connected to the act of creation. And this is the service of Hashem. This is avodat Hashem. So,
Can I say one more thing on that?
1 second.
Yeah.
And then the body, just like, this is like the body is compared to the Mishkan in other places also. Like we know that the shulchan represents the heart, and the menorah represents our face with like the 7 openings. It's like these are, I mean, they're deep, they're like Kabbalistic Tikkuni Zohar concepts, but it is like it is hinted to in other places. Yeah, what do you want to say?
What's mem? Mem is 40?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if this is like real, but I'm just thinking that we're told Vasuli Mikdash v'shachanti b'socham. So it's like, what I'm thinking is Vasuli Mikdash, like you have to do the Mikdash is 39, v'shachanti b'soch mem, but I'll sit in the 40. Like I'm gonna complete it.
Wow. That's beautiful.
The space that would be doing laundry and planning Shabbos instead is thinking of this.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know.
Right.
It's cool that he's saying that actual of like whatever you're doing.
Malachot
is mitzvahs.
Right.
Like not like eating so that you have strength to do mitzvahs. He's just saying eating is a mitzvah, not for something else.
Right.
Sleeping is a mitzvah. Like
Right.
Sleeping is a mitzvah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it is really cool.
And that's the least mitzvah I give
It's a big mitzvah.
attention to.
It definitely is a mitzvah. It helps you serve Hashem. That's like not just else. It just is. It's taking care of you. It's being a better person.
Okay. Even so, where are we at? 9:52. Okay. Even so, if he were to pour his loving kindness upon us, we would have no need for all this. Hold on. Right. Okay. Meaning, like, if Hashem would just make everything done for us, then we would have no need to do anything, right? For how did Hashem create the entire world out of absolute nothingness when there was no existent through which to affect an arousal from below? Like, right? But Hashem created, like, normally the way the world works is that we do something and it creates this chain reaction, and Hashem like gives bounty or, God forbid, punishment from whatever we do, right? And but the world wasn't created that way. The world was created from absolute nothing. There was no, like, we didn't initiate anything here. Mm-hmm. Yet he created worlds such as these and did so entirely by means of his chesed, of his love and kindness, without any arousal from below whatsoever, as in the world is built on love and kindness, from Tehillim. So Rebbe Nachman saying, even though there's like always a chain effect with everything, like still, like Hashem made the world out of kindness. It's all, basically he's saying like it's all chesed still, okay? Considering that Hashem could have created worlds such as these solely by means of his loving kindness without any arousal from below, he can certainly sustain and perpetuate the world solely by means of his loving kindness. Then we would not have had to engage in any labor or work whatsoever, as even the work for one's necessities would be done by others. As it is written in Yeshaya, foreigners will stand and pasture your flocks, and the sons of the stranger will be your plowmen and your vineyard workers, and you will be called priests of God. Specifically, priests of God, which is the concept of chesed, as in the world is built on love and kindness. In other words, they will not be called the priests of God, Hashem's love and kindness, for they will not have to engage in any labor or work. The world will sustain itself solely by his chesed. But when the loving kindness is held back with Hashem, God forbid, so that he does not bestow his loving kindness upon us, it is necessary to act and effect an arousal from below. So when we're not like feeling, hold on, I think it's saying like when we're not like feeling this chesed, then we have to act from this arousal from below. I mean, we're not going to have time to finish this whole piece, but I'm just trying to think how to like where I should skip to or what I should.
Do you think this is a hint into like the future, AI future?
Why?
Oh, then we won't have to do anything?
Right.
That's it.
What? Did you say?
It's like hints into like the AI future.
Right.
Robots will do all the work.
Right. That'll be good. Right.
Like cleaning ladies, like there's robots in your house.
Right. Crazy. So like, okay, I'm just like, I just want to connect it. Like basically, Rebbe Nachman's talking about all of this because he's really talking about like hashgacha pratis. That's like where it's going to take it to. I mean, we could leave it for next week also.
Leave it so we don't.
Yeah, we'll leave it for next week, but just like just to recap it, so we're not like just like in a sentence or two, so we're not left like on a cliffhanger. But basically, Rebbe Nachman's going to say here that like tzedakah leads to this like hashgacha pratis, and it leads him to be involved in our everyday lives, and that's which we read in one of the pieces before. He's gonna we're gonna get like a whole long-winded explanation of how that is and why that is, but that's basically the point. Like Hashem, because he's actually in this piece going to talk against like a certain philosophy where everyone thinks that everything is just nature. Like it's I think it's called in Hebrew like the koach tiv'i, and he's saying here how like it's not, like Hashem acts with like chesed and gvura, and we like initiate a lot of the shefa and God forbid punishment that comes down. Like there's like chain reactions here. So, and tzedakah is like plays in this, that it brings more like godly awareness to the world and more hashgacha pratis to the world, and that's like in a nutshell what he's gonna continue to say. So, just to not leave you on a cliffhanger.
I feel like we could feel it. Like when you give stuff and you see like miracles and you're like, that's like a
But should we hang on to the papers?
You can leave them here, or if you want to take them, you could. Whatever is like easy for you. Okay. Anyways, just want to give us a bracha just to turn it into a tefillah, and then I'll stop. But just like Hashem should give us strength to like have emunah to be able to give lots of tzedakah and to have lots of wealth in order to give lots of tzedakah. And we should see the hashgacha pratis in our lives always.